Hi, Leo. Man, I can't believe I forgot you guys yesterday. But I did this Virgo reading that was like gross. So I kind of have a feeling that that was supposed to come through your energy. So I just jumped to Virgo. Like the way I saw it in my head, I was like, oh, it goes Scorpio, Capricorn. Like I just didn't even see Sagittarius, right? Like usually that's how I'll do it to remember how the elements go in line because I don't always remember, right? But I always remember no matter what Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn. I didn't say that, did I? Yeah, I did, I think. Anyway, that's how I remember it. And I was like, I just skipped Sagittarius. So I just skipped the fire. So I didn't even see fire in my head to associate Leo. And I just skipped right past you, like to Capricorn. And that was like basically a devil reading. Like, to be honest, like it was some disgusting father figure, like grossly trying to marry his like daughter or stepdaughter, or like an uncle trying to like make it seem like maybe they didn't know that they were like bloodlined. Like it's just fucking gross. And now I'm like, I don't think Leo wanted that energy. It was like I did that I think I skipped Cancer, but I was like, I don't think you wanted that reading anyways. Like that was a lot. I mean, energy presents itself when it's ready, so lest we not forget. Okay. So I'm getting the Carnival Carnage cards. Where did that go? Oh, right there. So we'll do that for the theme. Now this evergreen candle growing. Oh my god. It's like making my room like legit smell like a forest. Which is kind of really soothing for this reading because it kind of seems like it might be a dark day out there. But all the sun is shining. Never mind. Okay, here we go. Oh, I was getting this like suicidal song. The world will never be what I expected, and if I don't belong, who would have guessed it? I will not leave alone everything that I own to make you feel like it's not too late. It's never too late. Even if I say it'll be all right, still you want to end your life. Like maybe somebody's trying to talk somebody off a bridge. Oh, so creepy. I went to this this like canyon. And there were these like phones on either side of the canyon and right in the middle that said, please, if you need help, pick this phone up right now. Like, obviously, they've had a lot of jumpers from that bridge. And I'm getting goosebumps. It like, I stood by a phone. It's like almost like I could feel the energy of how many people have picked up that phone to be like, please fucking help me off the ledge. Now I'm like full of goosebumps. Ooh, like look at this. Out of 300 cards, okay, we have the merry-go-round and the swing boats. When you think about it, how much in common are those at a Ferris or like a carnival? Like how close are those to being almost identical? Like. And I feel like somebody wants to stop the cycle. That's why merry-go-round is in reverse, right? Somebody wants to stop the cycle of just swinging along with something possibly. And we've got pick a card, any card. Close your eyes, then ask. Okay, well, this is a game, okay, that I picked up at a dollar store. So I'm trying, I always use them because I think they're awesome. I've never even actually played the game. I don't even know what the game is. Isn't that funny? Now that I think about it, I'm like, my sister and I, we went and bought games the other day, and here I am. I've got a game on my altar, and I didn't even realize it. I'm so funny. Okay, close your eyes, ask. Okay, so I think it's like close your eyes and ask who you think this person would be, because like somebody's like needs help, okay? And I don't know if it's you, and I don't know if it's somebody around you, but it's like the world is saying to you, pick anything. It doesn't even matter. You have to decide when you're on the edge. Okay. You're the one that has to back up and turn around, right? Jumping is easy until you get there, right? You can talk about it and talk about it and talk about it. Okay. I'm a suicide survivor. I know what that's like. Okay. You know how many times I popped a bunch of pills and then threw up? Do you know how many times I sat there, which was like a fucking knife on my wrist, just like at any point in time I could press down, but I didn't, right? There were also times where I swallowed a bunch of pills, woke up, puked them up automatically. Wasn't obviously ready for my time, right? I'm the one that has to decide, because you are in the driver's seat no matter what. You have control. So when you feel like you have to take your life, or when somebody around you feels like they have to take their life, it's because they feel out of control of something. Something's taking them over, whether it's depression, whether it's alcoholism, whether they lost their child, right? Whether or not their wife moved out on them, or they lost somebody. Like, something is taking them over and they can't beat it. So they think the only way that they can do it is if they're just not there anymore. But that's not the option. That's not what life is telling you. Life is telling you, when something like that happens, all of a sudden, you have to change something, because something's not working, right? And then when the people do successfully kill themselves, I think a lot of times while it's happening, and I often think of my friend Allie, who hung herself, and her mother found her hanging in their backyard in the tree that was like basically the only thing that took up the backyard. Like, I think about that moment, and I think about her struggling, and I think, like, I don't think she wanted to. I think she was overwhelmed. Her mom was becoming a fucking horror. She started banging all my fucking friends, right? We were 16. So we were starting to hang out with like the older crowd, right? So she started fucking around with like my girl's friends, and like she was like banging black dudes left, right, and center, and Allie was like, she was like starting to get embarrassed with like how her mother was acting. Her father was dead, right? And like, I think then she was pregnant. And then her boyfriend went to jail, and I lived down the road from her. I feel like I'm going to cry. Maybe this is her. Ugh. I haven't thought about her for so long. Like, I think about her because we were so close, and then I don't talk about her because I was right there. Like, I was down the road. Like, there was a school in between us. She was right there. Had I just known? And then I used to call her voicemail all the time because she was on the answering machine, just so I could hear her voice. I couldn't even speak at her funeral. Like, her death changed me. It changed my whole life. And I didn't even know. Like, I don't talk about her because I miss her so much. And when you lose somebody that you miss that much, you just hold them in this like little place in your heart, and they're never going to go anywhere. They're never going to leave you. They're never going to do you wrong. And if I need help, I know she's always there. And it destroys me that she did that, because she could have came and lived with me. Like, my mom would have cared. Like, my mom already helped another one of my friends fucking get out of her house. Like, she could have just come and stayed with me. Like my mom wouldn't have even cared. Like she had a way out. It's like she just didn't know. And then I think maybe that was just the way it was supposed to go. How maybe I wasn't able to talk her off the ledge. Maybe no matter what I would have said, it would have never changed her mind. But I still will never know, because I didn't get the chance to do it. Right? So it's like, see, she won't let me cry about her for very long. Like, she'll just start laughing, and her big old buck teeth will come out, and it's a very overwhelming feeling to know that somebody feels like they have nowhere to go when there are people around, even if they feel like those people would never help them. Like, it's, you either try or you end up hanging, literally, right? Fuck, that was 20 years ago, and it'll still hit me like a fucking car crash. Like my grandmother died a year ago, and I don't even cry. But my dead friend from 20 years ago will make me sob like a baby the second I think about her. Like, there are good people and there are bad people, you know? Like, there are people that cut you straight to the heart, and there are people that don't give a fuck about you, that you love, right? Like, okay, swing boats, swing boats. I was wondering if that was going to come up. Okay, so Son of Cups. Okay, so I feel like the person that needs to get talked off the ledge here is somebody who is depressed because a relationship didn't go somewhere. So, and that was like kind of like Allie. Like, once her boyfriend went to jail, she felt alone, right? Like, she felt like she didn't have anybody once he went away. I don't even know what he got put away for. I think it was like just a fucking stupid little drug charge, and it ruined her life. So, like, I think that somebody tried to get something off the ground, okay, 8 of Wands, but it went into reverse. It didn't work the way that it wanted to work, and they had this big, beautiful cup to give to somebody, and it just didn't work, right? This Daughter of Wands, this Page of Wands, this fire went into reverse. This idea that they had went into reverse, that they wanted to grow. 6 of Pentacles, okay? And, like, that's what'll do it, is a fucking relationship, you know? Like, the ties that people all of a sudden have over you, you know? Okay, pick a card, any card. If you want to know, it was actually my friend who just told me to smoke some weed because she knows that I still have anxiety about it and I need to calm down. So even in the grave, my girl's got my back. She always will, and she always has. Okay, pick a card, any card. Okay, so 4 of Swords. You've got to heal. Okay, somebody has to heal. And in order for them to heal, it's like, close your eyes and ask yourself, is it really this relationship that's pushing you off the edge, or is it something bigger? Right? Because somebody has an overwhelming amount of anxiety. Okay, but it's anxiety in reverse. And you know what? I'm going to tell you this other thing. So my stepmother, I have anxiety attacks, okay? And it's something that I've had since I was a child. It's like an overwhelming, you know, sense of emotions, and then all of a sudden you can't breathe and you feel like you're gonna fucking die, okay? I've fought with this anxiety my whole life, and I didn't know that it was anxiety, okay? I didn't know what stress was. My doctor would be like, are you stressful? And I'm like, no. And he'd be like, are you depressed? And I'm like, no. Are you anxious? And I'd be like, no, right? And I'm all of those things. I just didn't know what those things were because my parents didn't allow me to have emotions without calling me fucking crazy and insane. Okay, apparently expressing emotions to them wasn't allowed. Okay, you had to be prim and proper and just, and smile. Okay, that was the life that we had. It was disgusting. And then we had my mother's house that was like full of pedophiles and alcoholics. So they really weren't around. Like, they were just like, hey, you're 8 years old, cook yourself dinner, we're going to the bar. Like, it was fucking awful, okay? So, like, you know, maybe you had parents like that, or maybe this person had parents like that, okay? And, like, that hurt and that pain that's still in somebody, it's like you've got to look like if a failed relationship hurt somebody this much and it really didn't even get off the ground that much, there's a bigger picture here. Okay, there's a bigger problem. And once I noticed, so I had this anxiety attack while living with my stepmother at an older age. Like I think I was like, I don't know, probably like 28, something like that. Okay. And I lived with her for 2 weeks before she couldn't handle it anymore. So I had to leave. She kicked me out. And I was sitting there talking to her, and she looked me in the eye and goes, I don't get anxiety. I don't know what you suffer with. And then about 5 minutes later, she tells me that she's on depression pills for almost, like 20 years at the time, okay? For when my sister borrowed my stepmother's car, okay, because my dad had a truck. Think about the gas value. My father had a big truck. My stepmother had a small car. So she took my stepmother's small car and drove across the fucking country to some dude in BC that she met at a club. Okay. She was 16 years old. She had absolutely no idea what she was doing. She picked up a hitchhiker. She was almost raped. She was almost robbed. Okay. My stepmother sent out an arrest warrant for her. She wanted her arrested. She wanted her charged with theft. My dad had to talk her off the edge of making my sister fucking go to jail. Okay. And she's never once been able to speak to my sister. My sister was banned from the house for like multiple years because Cindy couldn't handle it because Courtney took her car. So for 20 years, okay, Cindy has never been able to speak to my sister about it. She won't speak to me about it, but she takes depression pills because of it. And it's not counterproductive. We've tried 10 years to try to talk to her and been like, do you not understand that my sister didn't take your car because she hated you? She took your car because of gas mileage, you fucking idiot. She was smarter than you at the age of 16. But because Cindy wants to carry it as a crutch, because she doesn't want to get better, because she wants to constantly manipulate my father, so she stays on antidepressants for a problem that she can fix in the matter of one fucking phone call. But she uses that as a crutch. It's not really a problem with her. She doesn't care that Courtney took the car. But my father thinks that for 20 years, that's the reason why she has to take her depression pills, because she has to control the relationship. When you pick a king, when you get married, that's the person that is, I want to say, in control of your life, okay? You pick a king for a reason. A king is in control of a queen. I don't care what women say, get in your fucking roles, okay? I'm not saying that this man is supposed to tell you everything that to do, but honestly, you have to listen to a man's fucking advice when you're not listening to your own self. My stepmother won't listen to herself, and she for sure as fuck won't listen to my father. So she treats my father like a queen while she takes the king's place by lying on the throne. Okay, so please listen to what I say and not get mad, because I will explain anything to anybody. I am biased. I don't care about your life. I don't care about my own fucking life, half of the fucking people in it. So I don't really care. Like, if you want to say I'm doing something wrong, fuck, call me out on it. I don't care. But you have to listen when you have to call out people on their shit because they're making you stand on the edge and not heal. Because they're purposely manipulating you in some way by taking something for granted, right? So why would you think that literally, when you sum it up, a 10-second relationship in your life should cost you to jump off the edge of a cliff? And I'm not downing you. I'm not like full of shitting you or like trying to be condescending or an asshole to you. I'm like literally wanting to know, is that the right thing to do for you? Do you feel like that's justifiable for losing your own life because of what possibly other people did that you still haven't been able to shake off because it's within relationships, right? So when somebody won't seek the truth, like my stepmother, she manipulates the system so she can control something because somebody in her life fucked her over and she lost control of something. So now she has to control everything, but she can't control me, which is why she's not in my life. She can't control my sister, which is why my sister isn't in her life. And she's slowly making this tiny little bubble around my father because my father's a woman. I'm pretty sure he's gay, and he lets this woman control everything because of a contract that is derived by a ring. You have to understand, I actually told my friend the other day that he was in an abusive relationship and he had no idea. I was like, you know that was an abusive relationship. Like, please understand, women aren't supposed to act like that. Women are not supposed to act like children. Women are not supposed to get you to get home and fucking make them dinner. Women are supposed to be able to take care of themselves, just like men. And then you've got this union at night where you can fuck each other's brains out and then go to bed. Why do you have to control a spouse? Why do they have to do something that you say because you're in a relationship with them? You're supposed to feel confident in a relationship and still do the moves that you would do anyways, but you still have this like awesome person to hang out with. Like, relationships shouldn't be controlling. They have to grow. Like, could you imagine if you told this plant, hey, no fucking growing until I tell you? Like, I don't even think that would work. Like, I think the plant is going to continue to grow because that's what things do, right? Like, you could even put a fucking cage over this motherfucker. Guess what? It's just going to keep growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. Because it doesn't give a fuck about what you say. It's its own thing, right? Whew. Ooh, I feel like that kind of got through to somebody. Which, you know, like, I never saw life that way or relationships that way. Like, that's brand new information to me. So, ooh, 8 of Cups in reverse. Like, know that things are allowed to walk away. Like, when things break, they break, man. Just walk away. Like, there's darkness if you're going to stay there and trying to pick up all those pieces of glass and glue it together like fucking nothing happened. Like, no, they still shattered. Ooh, Cancer. Move this chariot forward, my friend, and not forward as in off the bridge. Forward as in get the fuck off the bridge, okay? 10 of Wands in reverse. Turn around. Where do you think it is that you're going to go? What do you think is going to happen? Honestly, like, I think if you jump off that bridge, if you jump off that ledge with all this hostility, with all of these things that you have not dealt with in your life, I think you're just going to carry them all to the next spot that you go. And it's going to be even harder to deal with things because now you're in another dimension and you're not here where things actually get done, where you can walk up to people and you can deal with your shit. You can walk up to your parents and be like, what did you put me around? Were you always fighting? Did you think that was a good thing? And who the fuck got me on their side all the time? Did you use me as a pawn? Like, this is when you get to rebel and say fuck you for what you did. Why just jump off and give everybody else what they want? Who cares about what everybody else wants? I don't give a fuck if people want to see me or not. I'm like, hello. Did you order a cup of Whitney? Because I'm here. I don't care if you don't like me. I got a job to do. Get the fuck out of my way then. But you're not going to bring me down because I've already been there. I've already done that. And I almost jumped off the ledge. And then, like, I've almost died like a few times. I just heard 7. That's probably about right. And, like, had any of those actually have happened, whew, I would have sucked. I would have been left in the most treacherous energy ever. Like, that's why I think about my friend Allie all the time, because I think about what the fuck she got trapped in. Because she didn't do anything that she needed to do. She was 16. What do you get done before you're 16? She didn't get anything done. She was just existing. She was still trying to figure it out, right? Like, once you get past 20, 25, like, you can actually start doing things, because then you can put your, like, selfishness down and be like, I'm a part of something much bigger than just myself. You're not just here by yourself. There's multiple people here, right? There's multiple ways that you can redeem yourself, but you're the one that has to decide, yo, I got to turn around. I can't drive this way anymore. I'm not getting anywhere. I'm driving into branches. Where do I think I'm going to go? Do I suddenly think there's just going to be this open, clear valley after I've scraped my face and my whole body up going through this? No. Whoa. 555 was just on the clock, by the way. There's a 10 of Swords with Judgment. And they were facing opposite ways. Like, this is how it is. It's going to be one side or the other. You know, like, oh, now I just heard the Town, right? I'll see you this side or the other, right? Because this is what it is about. You're either going to deal with it on this side or you're going to deal with it on the other. Like, but it's got to get dealt with no matter what. So do you really want to do that to yourself? Do you really want to push it to another lifetime? Do you really want to push it over the edge? You haven't even gotten anything done yet. Why would you want to push it, right? Just so you can keep continuing doing crap work, right? We're going into the experts now. You don't do shit work. Don't give shit work? That's a reflection of you. Your work here is a reflection of you, right? Son of Swords, get your ass moving. That's what society is saying. That's what Spirit's saying. right? That's what the inner you is saying. Get away from this, right? Get moving. Get this anxiety out of you. Get this energy out of you. Walk away. Turn around, right? Relieve yourself. You don't have to do this. You don't have to fight. You can put the stick down. You can let it shatter. Who the fuck cares? You should see the junk pile in my fucking backyard over there. My landlord won't even get a bin. And I'm like, oh, I'm fucking cleaning it up. It ain't my mess. Right? Don't clean up things that aren't yours, man. Don't do shit that's not yours. Don't clean other people's lives up or do other shit when you've got shit on the front burner. I wouldn't be able to do this channel if I didn't put all my other shit away. And trust me, if there's more that has to come out, then fuck, I'm gonna have to put this channel on hold for a bit. Like, I will always put myself first. I'm sorry, but you guys will never come first above me. Because if I'm not good, how am I gonna be able to do this? You're gonna get shitty readings, you're gonna get shitty Whitney, you're gonna get tired readings, you're gonna get fucking bullshit, I'm probably gonna bring some demon through. Like, it's gonna be awful. I need to be sharp. I need my defenses have to be up, my shields have to be up. I gotta know what I'm channeling. I gotta be connected, or I can't do this, right? There's the devil in reverse. Like, somebody's gotta let something go that they've been so used to controlling their life. Four of Pentacles. Concentrate on money. Money is a great distraction. Honestly, it's a great distraction to get through, to just go to work every day and just know that, like, that's just your routine right now. Like, listen, I can't deal with a lot. I'm just going to go to work, because at work, I can focus. I can do my own thing. I can concentrate. I'm making money. I'm there. And then when I go home, I can deal with my stress when I get home. Okay? Five of Swords in reverse, like coming back together. You aren't the one that's supposed to break you apart because of what somebody else did. Okay? You don't punish yourself for what other people did. They already hurt you. So you move on with yourself. You get away from it. You don't continue to punish yourself because other people hurt you. Right? You get even. You go back to those people. Even Steven, you go back. Eye for an eye. We're going to talk about this. And if you don't want to talk about it, I don't give a fuck. You're going to sit there. Oh, man. This reminds me. So my friend, oh, man, he got massively traumatized by these men in the neighborhood. Okay. And he, like, oh my God, his journey, he became a police officer because of it. He almost killed himself numerous times. The damage that this guy wore because of what these men did, that were like a part of this hockey team. Oh my God, it was, I swear to God, I hate him for telling me what happened, but it's part of my job, so I just deal with it anyways. Fucking, ugh. I almost said his name. I will never do that. I'll never call people out like that. Anyways, so 20 years later, there goes half the dick on the ground. 20 years later, my friend gets to sit with this motherfucker on a train, locked in. And he tells me about it later, obviously, because he was super proud of himself, and like his ex-wife at the time was with him and his son. So like he wasn't alone, right? But he got this motherfucker and he sat, you know how there's like only two spots, right? So he sat on the outside. So this guy was like trapped inside against the window. And he told this guy how he ruined his life from start to finish. And when he came and told me, because, I mean, he became my best friend. Like, we dated for a bit, and then he got back with his wife, and then they had another kid, and he just became my best friend. Like, I'm really easy to talk to, and I obviously was a very easy person for him to talk to, so he really opened up, and that's how we became such good friends, was because he trusted me on helping him through this. And when he said, because it was like maybe about a year after me and him had started working together, after we had dated and then became friends. That's why he was with his wife. His wife was pregnant at the time. Well, I call her his wife. They weren't really married, but anyways, she was pregnant again with the second baby. And so that was about 18 months, okay, that he had to just heal after our initial kind of like light work together. And he goes, it was the most liberating thing that I've ever did in my life. Because like the guy was a cop. So I know he packs heat wherever he goes, okay? And I was like, you didn't like pull a fucking gun on? Like you didn't do any? And he was like, no. He's like, I was perfectly calm. I just sat there. He was shitting himself. He's like, let me tell you, he wasn't having a good time. But he's like, I was like, I walked him through it from the second he started doing it to the second that we were sitting there, to everything that you and I talked about, to how I needed to let things go and I needed to heal. And I'm getting goosebumps now because I really think that something happened to somebody. And when that happens, okay, you need to liberate yourself from that if you feel you're ready for it. Like I did it. I confronted my stepfather. I didn't get to see him face to face, but I don't ever want to see him face to face because I don't know if I'll ever have that restraint like he did. But like I said, my friend was a cop. So he got a lot out already in the streets because he was a cop in Toronto. You can imagine the shit that he saw in downtown Toronto. Like he saw like babies dead and like families dead and like murder victims and like you fucking name it, suicide victims jumping in front of trains, like you name it. I mean, this guy was traumatized from his work, let alone from what these men did when he was a kid, right? So he traumatized himself every day. And actually when we met, a week later, he was suspended from the job and he had to go and find it. He never went back to being a cop the second he met me. And it's almost because I told him, you don't have to do this anymore. You don't have to keep torturing yourself, thinking that you're saving other people when you have to save yourself. And he went through, like, I'd have to say 3 years of healing. Like he had almost a full year where like he barely even came out of his room. He stopped working. He went into massive amounts of debt. He almost claimed bankruptcy. It was like the same road that I went down, except he had a house. So he was able to clear his debt and buy a smaller house and start again. I had to claim bankruptcy, which is what most people have to do when their trauma comes out, because your family kind of like flops on you, right? Especially if it involves another family member. You might lose a lot of family members once you address this, right? Because a lot of people will believe the adult and not the child. Even if you're not a child anymore, it doesn't matter. At the time you were a child, right? So, I mean, so much will come out with this kind of stuff, but killing yourself isn't going to do anything because then they win. And they already fucked you over enough. Why would you want to kill yourself and fuck yourself over knowing that they have already done that for you, right? It's like judgment. That's what judgment is you have to decide, you have to judge a situation. You've got to judge this path right now to say like, am I ready to do this? Am I ready to rise again? Can I actually get off the cliff and go and make this right? Because if you can't, then I would still suggest talking to somebody about it, because I know it sounds dumb. And I was told the same thing, like, oh, just talk about it. And I was like, why the fuck would I want to talk about that? Like, really? You want me to just keep going over and over? And they're like, no, it's not about that. It's about how you feel towards them. It's about how you feel towards other people. It's just talking about you. It's not about them. It's not, you don't even have to say what anybody did to you. You have to just talk about what's inside so that at least somebody can hear it. And then you don't have it bottled up anymore. Right? There's like helplines. There are like, I mean, things out there that can help you. Right? Like I said, had my friend had just walked down the street, it could have been 3 a.m, man. My mom would open up the door. Like she would have woke me up. Like we were 16, we weren't kids. Like she literally could have just walked down the road. She didn't even have to call, even if she did call. Right? Like there are people, like you can just walk and go into a church. Like even if you don't believe in religion. Like if there's anybody there, they'll talk to you. Like there's Service Canada's, like you walk into a Service Canada and they'll help you. Like, right? Like honestly, so many people can help you. So anyways, I don't know if this is for you or if this is for somebody that you know, but let me tell you, there are so many more options. And the best option is confronting this person. And like I said, I never saw my stepfather. I confronted him over the phone. He didn't listen to me. He didn't care. He's an ignorant piece of shit. My mother didn't care. Nobody cared, but at least I said it. And then I communicated through email afterwards. I have no idea if he read the email. My mother constantly protects him, so he probably didn't. But I said my piece, and that's it. I'll never see him again. You know, moving away from people is also kind of better, because if you feel like you're going to see them, right, you feel like, well, why should I uproot my life? But maybe you need to uproot your life. Maybe it's a new journey that you have to take for yourself. See new things, explore. Maybe there's somebody out there waiting for you, you know, just waiting to cross your paths at a local convenience store, but you're still in your hometown. You know, like you just never know, like if something's calling you or if something's saying, because the other way that's calling you is into the grave, 6 feet under. So you either choose a new direction and turn around and go somewhere else, or you keep walking down the same road that you're walking down and eventually you're going to end up in the ditch and you ain't coming out. So if you need to email me, I'll even fucking talk to you, man. Trust me, I've been homeless, I've been beat, I've been left, I've been fucking abused, I've been, you name it. Like, I can most likely relate to whatever you're saying. Like, oh my God, like, my life has been awful. Even up to this point, it's been fucking awful. So, like, I'm with you, okay? So, you know, not the best reading, but honestly, Leo, this needed to come out today. So, we're talking somebody off the edge of a cliff, and I hope it worked. See you later.